EA Play 2018 just kicked off today, and yo, we got to see a lot of Anthem. Well, a lot is a bit of exaggeration, but we got to see plenty of Anthem to start piquing more questions and to answer a lot of questions that we initially had at first. So we got quite a bit of information that we're gonna discuss today. Not gonna go just in too much in depth, but a lot of things I do want to cover. So before we dive into this video, let's just talk about what we're gonna cover today. We got a release date. We got to see some of the classes or javelins as they're called in the game. We got to know a little bit more about monetization, and we got to a little bit know how it's gonna differentiate between single player and the multiplayer experience within Anthem. So without further ado, guys, let's just dive into today's video. All right, guys. So let's talk about Anthem, man. We got to see quite a bit, and from Twitter and just reading the forums and everything, a lot of people it just kind of on the fence with this game. Personally, I enjoyed it, but one of the biggest complaints a lot of people say it looks like Destiny, which honestly, it does look like Destiny, and that's not a bad thing in my opinion. So I guess it's kind of how you look on it, but it did give you a lot of Destiny vibes, which was a positive in my opinion, because I am a big fan of Destiny, or at least was a big fan of Destiny. But one of the biggest things that we learned today was the release date. So the release date of Anthem is February 22nd, 2019, which is honestly a lot earlier than I expected to release. I was expecting a little bit later, maybe April-ish, May. I was thinking about going in towards the summer that it was gonna release, because they did say it was gonna be on the earlier side of 2019, but I was just still expecting a little bit late. February 22nd is a little bit earlier than I expected, but I'm not complaining. But also, guys, realize delays, they can still happen, and it's always a chance. If they're not ready, they don't feel like they're going to be finished, or the game is not going to be polished enough, trust and believe, we are going to see some delays if need be. So February 22nd is the date, 2019 is the date as of now, but that's always subject to change. So let's talk about a little bit more of the javelins, or classes as some of you may call it. So we got to see 4 classes today. So we have to get names of them. We got a little bit more of description of them. So the classes we got to see is the Ranger, and that's the main class that we got to see. We got to see the Colossus, the bigger class. We got to see the Storm, which is more of the magic class, and we got to see the Interceptor. So the Ranger class is what is being dubbed as the overall class, the jack of all trade class. He's gonna be a little bit more offensive. He's gonna be what I'm dubbing is the balance type class, as they was he has a little bit of mobility. He has mobility. He he can take a little bit of hit. He can deal some damage. He's just the overall well-balanced class that probably we're going to start off into. And then we dive into the Colossus, which we have seen, and we got to see a lot of tidbits of the gameplay from the Colossus. He's more of the tank character. That's exactly what they say, actually. He's a tank. He's the big guy. He takes a lot of damage. He can deal a lot of damage to bigger, to like areas of enemies and stuff like that. And he has like more heavier guns. So, he's gonna probably have like more rockets, more. We seen him like with a big machine gun sometimes in the gameplay. So, but he's the heavy guy. He's the tank. He takes damage, and he draws the attention. And then we got to see a little bit more of 2 other classes. So we got a little bit more of the Storm. So the Storm that's gonna be my class. Storm looks pretty cool. He has like a little cape on his back. He's the magic wielder of the class. They didn't go into much of depth, but we saw him doing like some if I'm referring to Destiny, some like blinking teleporting type thing, which was really pretty cool. And he was just moving around. I think we got to see maybe a magic attack, not really sure, but they did say he was a magic caster, so he is going to have some type of magical ability. And as of now, we know he has lightning around him, but we don't know if he's going to be able to harness any other type of magic. He's going to have like fire or wind or earth. I don't know if he's gonna have any other type of magics in the game, so we haven't seen that just yet. And then we also got to see the Interceptor, which is looking like to me the more nimble, agile, maybe a flankish type character. They didn't really give much information. They didn't even really talk about it, but we did get to see some gameplay clips, what I'm probably showing you guys on the screen. I'm gonna assume this is like just a quicker, like a very agile type character, just be able to get around, maybe flank quick. I don't know exactly. Maybe he's a stealth type character. I can see stealth. Maybe he has some invisibility type things. I don't really know just yet. These are just all my speculations, but he definitely looks like a very nimble type class. And as you can see, in probably one clip, if I can find that clip, he saves like one of the main characters by to get crushed, he swoops in really quick from getting crushed, and he made a really quick move. So that's why I say he's a nimble, agile, probably speed character, probably a flank type character. One thing I wanted to try to take from the interview, he was talking about some of the classes. So what he did is he discussed 3 classes. So he brought up the Colossus, he brought up the Ranger, he brought up the Storm. But then he further goes on to say, I don't want to talk about the other Javelins just yet. He put an S on there. He put an S on other Javelins when we only seen 4. So if you talk about 3 and then you say I don't want to talk about the other Javelins with an S, maybe there's more than 4 Javelins in the game. So like I said, I don't want to dive too much into that because that's just pure speculation. S could, he could have just been saying he could have been Javelin. He don't talk about the other Javelin, or he could have really been Javelins, as there's more than 4. So that's pretty interesting and something we're going to look out in the future. So classes or Javelins are going to be able to be switchable. You're not going to be bound to one type of Javelin. So for example, in Destiny, if you pick the Titan, you can't pick the Titan unless you switch accounts. If you're on your Javelin, if you're on your Titan, you have to play as Titan. You can't like just hop into a Warlock or Hunter. You're stuck with your Titan until you sign out and lock into your different account, which has its own leveling and own weapons to gain. So I think it's pretty cool to being able to switch class, try them all out, find out which ones work for you. Also, guys, we are going to see, we can tie this into the monetization. There's no loot crates in the game. There's no gameplay advantages that you can buy. So that's really exciting to hear. I was pretty sure with the blunder of EA and Star Wars, I was pretty sure we wasn't going to have to run into no loot crate, no gameplay advantages. I just feel like something like, come on devs, by now nobody really wants this. I feel like there's something like we shouldn't even be getting excited about, because that's just something that should be like, I shouldn't have to be excited about not having no gameplay advantages to be bought, but I guess that's the age we're in, because a lot of people, a lot of games do this. So at least they have squashed that right now. There will not be any type of monetization where we have to buy like loot crates or gameplay advantages, but there will be some form of currency, like purchasable currency that we can buy that allows us to buy cosmetics within the game, and it's going to be strictly cosmetics. So I don't know what these cosmetics will cover, but as we can see in the game, we see 2 Colossus Javelins, but they are a little bit different. One's like a whitish one, and then the other one's like red. So we are going to be able to customize. So we may be able to buy like shoulder pads, arm gear, the actual aesthetics of it. So maybe there's like different Javelin models. So we got the Colossus, but there's different models of the Colossus. So it's always gonna be all cosmetic things. We all like to look cool, maybe like some glowing armor, some cool looking armor, So that's pretty cool. Like I don't mind buying to look cool. You guys know, most of you guys play Fortnite. We all spend money to buy classes. To buy skins. When they don't literally do anything, we just get to look cool. So people aren't afraid to spend money on things they like to look cool. People like looking cool. I like looking cool. I'm pretty sure you like looking cool, and that's not a bad thing. So I'm glad that they're gonna add cosmetics. I like cosmetics to the game, and I feel like that's the way for them to. They still gotta earn revenue at the end of the day. So, and then they talk about, in some of the interviews, they talked about a little bit more how single player and the multiplayer experience will, shape, and how would they coexist and everything. So I still personally need to do some more research on it. But for the most part, the single player experience will coexist within the Fort Tarsus. I think it's called Fort Tarsus. I may be saying it a little bit incorrect, but something like so. Like along the city to Fort Tarsus, that's where all the single player elements will take place, where where things will progress within the story and everything. So everything that you make, all decisions you make will take place in Fort Tarsus. But once you go into the open world per se, that's when the multiplayer experience will take place. So anything you see in the multiplayer world, for example, a world of events, as we see like these guys, like in the gameplay, the guys are diving into this water cave, but a world event pops up on the screen. So we get to see a world event. It's like taking down some type of ancient enemy. Can't remember the exact name of his ancient enemy, and it triggers his world events. He shoots some missiles at it. He says, nah, we're gonna finish with the mission. So there are gonna be world events. Those type of things are the multiplayer elements. These multiplayer elements will interact with everybody in the world. So everybody's gonna be able to join in. Everybody's gonna see these world event or bosses or everything. And you're gonna choose if you want to join in or continue to enjoy your solo experience. So they did say the game is going to be, able to play solo. They haven't really went into depth how it's going to how you gonna interact once you're playing solo, but you go into the world. I'm still curious, like, are we gonna be in this world and like, cause they keep explaining how this world is very vast and ever changing and stuff like that. So are we gonna go into this world and see other people and like, or do we have to like be in the same group to see each other? So I'm still curious about how that goes, but they did, state that this game can be single player and it will be a little bit more challenging. Well, I think that's perfectly cool. You play single player, you get a little bit more challenge. I think most people who really want to play the game single player typically want a little bit more of a challenge throughout the game. So I think that's pretty cool. And then they talk about like a little bit more of the world and the lore. And they're just talking about like how there's no particular good or bad guy. We're just in this world where the gods were crafting this world. They was creating this world, and then all of a sudden they vanished. They left their tools and their weapons and everything, all their things for creating things. They left it behind. And they just vanished. And so now all these species and organisms are just trying to survive. So all the things we're going to be fighting, literally they're fighting for their lives as well, and we're fighting for our lives. So there's not necessarily good or bad in the game. Now, while there may be some bad guys that come along in the game later on in the story, but as for right now, we're just trying to survive, and I think that's a pretty cool element. But before I dive deep into like some of the breakdowns and everything, I really want to see the full, E3 game floor showcase. So they said the show they showed at E3 Play. They said the floor showcase is going to be a little bit more in depth, and they're going to show a little bit more. So I really want to see that first before I talk too much on it. But anyway, guys, I'm going to wrap the video up here. I'm really excited for Anthem. I know everybody may not feel the same way. A lot of you guys may be like, yeah, not really feeling the Anthem game, too much like Destiny, and it looked kind of boring. But I don't know, I really enjoyed what I saw, and I'm excited. I hopefully we get a beta. We didn't get any news on the beta. If I get any word on beta, I'll definitely keep you guys posted. But yeah, guys, I'm gonna wrap the video up here, guys. Hopefully you guys enjoy. Hopefully you guys found some information that you didn't know about. You found this video informative. If not, my bad. But anyway, guys, I'm gonna catch you guys in my next one. Until then, it's been your boy B Main, and I'm signing out. Peace.